You guys are going to be watching this, but I really had to say something because I was fairly upset by something that passed in the state of California's election on Tuesday. It made me very angry, and I'm about to embark on probably the biggest journey of my whole life trying to fix it. In the state of California, they passed a law this past Tuesday that has made the crime of raping a person who's intoxicated non-violent, along with a lot of other crimes, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Things like assault with a deadly weapon, or exploding a device with the intent to injure someone, or, 100 other things are considered non-violent crimes now. I mean, apparently it's been that way for years, and it's based on some old precedent that they've now used for, a law. But I'm so mad that I can't even begin to tell you guys how ridiculous this is. I cannot believe that they don't think it's a violent crime. So I'm about to actually try to change state law, and I don't know that it's gonna happen, but I'm about to start writing my senator and start writing the governor and start writing everybody I can think of and try to get the crimes reclassified as violent crimes. And that entails sharing my story with the whole world. And I think that's the hardest part of all of this is I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to share my trauma stories with the world. And it's very difficult because everything that goes in there is going to be online and out there for the whole world to see. And that means that potentially I could lose a job one day. I could not get hired one day. My whole family's gonna hear about it. My little sisters don't know. My younger sisters don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on right now. And I think a lot of people woke up yesterday as activists without meaning to. Yeah, that definitely happened. And a couple people have already put change.org petitions online, Patrick, and they're just not branded well. So I really feel as though they're not going to get the traction that they need, which is why I'm waiting the extra 3 days so that I can get rebranded properly and find a good message to put out there before I start mouthing off to senators. But it's still very, very disconcerting. I mean, there are only 23 crimes in the state of California that are considered violent, and everything else isn't. And I mean, if you look up no on Proposition 57 in California, you'll see what are considered non-violent crimes now, and don't eat before you look it up because it'll make you vomit a little. But if anyone has any ideas of things that I can do to make it better, I am going to start a change.org petition. And once it gets enough traction, I'm going to send it to the senators, and hopefully they will start thinking twice about calling things like rape or assault with a deadly weapon or corporal punishment on a child or lewd and lascivious acts with a child. I can't believe, the crap that they're saying are nonviolent. And I know, I've seen people on my Facebook and on PTSD Buddies talking about it, but I literally just had to make a video because I'm just so pissed. I really don't know what to think about it anymore. And every time I think I'm going to start something, I get roadblocks thrown up. And I've been trying to write my story out because I plan to share it with the world. And all I can think is, what are people going to think about this, or what are people going to think about that? And I can't possibly include that because it might cost me a job someday or make me ineligible to donate blood or hundreds of other things. I don't know how much to share and how not much to share and which story to share, and I just want it to be better, but I know it's gonna take like the next decade of my life to fix. This has been in the making for the last decade that they've fucked up. Oh, and last night somebody said, well, then I should just leave California. But I was like, well, it can't be any better someplace else. There's no guarantee that where I move is not going to be just as bad. So I'm going to draw up a message on Sunday with a friend of mine who's very good at branding, and I'm going to start a Facebook group, and I'm going to go on change.org and start making a petition, and I'm hoping that all of you will sign it, even though most of you don't live in California. Oh God, I'm noticing tears coming out of my eyes. I'm really pissed about it. I go home and every time I see my Facebook blowing up with notifications, I kind of start crying because it's just ridiculous. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and now I've got to drive home because I've got massive heartburn from eating really bad food.